Hello and welcome to our Stellaris sort of tutorial playthrough. It's just going to be me checking out the game. We have, I think at the moment, all, or not all, we don't have the lithoid, but anyway, we have basically all the DLC, and it's just going to be learning how to play the game, because we're going to be playing starting a Viewer Select playthrough over on twitch.tv/SarahSquire, link in the description, where you all will be taking a pivotal decision-making position in that playthrough, and so it's good if I know how to play the game. We haven't played in about a year or so it's just catching myself up to speed. So it will be. I have the tutorial fully on, and we'll be playing as the United Nations of Earth. So we are a representative democracy. We'll hold elections every 10 years to select a new ruler. We are a beacon of liberty. The society is a shining beacon of light in a sea of darkness. Liberty and individual freedoms are held in the highest regard here. Idealistic foundations. This society was founded on a strong idealistic values. Whether the current government remains true to them or not, the people have not forgotten. So people are just happy. Citizens are just happier naturally. We have monthly unity plus 15%. We are xenophiles. Trade value increased, diplomatic influence cost is lowered. There exists, in all of us, a deep-seated fascination for the unknown, an adventurous spirit that rejects the familiar, and glories in the unfamiliar. Whatever, or whomever it may be, ask not what your planet can do for you. Ask what you... That's a horrible JFK, sorry. Fanatic, egalitarian. Faction influence gain plus 50%, specialist output plus 10%. Beware, always those who would be despots, under the false presumption that their desires and agendas are somehow more imperative than those of their fellows. A society that does not see the needs and rights of all of its members is not a society, it is a crime. That also sounds like it could be a JFK quote. We're apparently a, utopian 1960s society. Alright, we are human, meaning we are humanoid. We are adaptive, our habitability plus 10%. This species is highly adaptive when it comes to foreign environments. Nomadic, population growth from immigration plus 15%, resettlement cost minus 25%. This species has a nomadic past, and its members often think nothing of relocating to another world. And we are wasteful. Population consumer goods upkeep plus 10%. Members of this species seemingly have no concept of frugality and are prone to useless consumption. It is the 1960s. Wow. The myriad human nations that constitute their interstellar government are disparate, yet united in purpose. These bipedal mammalians have developed a society that encourages and even thrives on individual freedoms and cultural differences. As a result, humans tend to integrate well with alien populations. Despite this, they have strong martial traditions, produced by millennia of intermittent warfare on their homeworld, and their sometimes aggressive and unpredictable nature should not be underestimated. Good. Alright, so we're going to be playing on a tiny world. A tiny galaxy size, because the whole point is kind of get through the tutorial, not have just like an ever-winding, unending, 1,000-part episode series. Welcome to episode 1, by the way. We'll have a elliptical shape, I guess. Yes. What's the difference between a ring and an elliptical? That I cannot say. So there'll be 3 AI empires, or 1 to 3. Maybe 2 to... We'll have 2 to 4, so that we don't really know what we're going up against. There'll be no fallen empires. This controls the maximum number of fallen empires that are allowed to spawn in the galaxy. They're ancient precursor civilizations that start with advanced technology and powerful fleets. They're not allowed to expand or build new ships. I mean, it'd be cool to have, like, 0 to 1. Yeah. And 0 to 1 Marauders. This controls the maximum number of Marauder empires that are allowed to spawn in the galaxy. Marauder empires are spaceborne civilizations that spend most of their time fighting amongst themselves and raiding their neighbors. Alright. Tech tradition cost, 1 times. Habitable worlds, 1 times. Primitive civilizations, 1 times. Crisis strength, 0.5. Mid-year start date, 100 years after the start of the game. End game start date, 200 years after the start. Victory year, 300. Although we could just... Oops, no. Let's see. The game will end with the highest scoring empire being the winner. Okay, sure. Alright, we'll be playing on... Oh, well, let's see. The player gets bonuses. Let's not have any bonuses. Let's just go regular... The AI has no inherent economic, scientific, or military advantage over the player, so it will just be an ensign. But in our viewers elect, we might pump up the difficulty a bit. But here we'll just do ensign, nothing. The AI doesn't get anything, we don't get anything. Scaling difficulty. AI bonuses from the difficulty setting scale up over time, starting at 0, reaching a maximum. The end. Oh, that'd be interesting. So like the AI gets stronger over time. Let's not do that this time, but I think for the viewers elect we'll do that. AI aggressiveness, let's just keep that. Empire placement random. Advanced neighbors off. Alright, hyperlane density times 1. Abandoned gateways times 1. Wormhole pairs times 1. I don't really know much about that stuff. Caravaneers! Space-based traders who send out fleets across the galaxy to offer you great deals. Sure. And we have a guaranteed habitable worlds, too. Alright. Here we go. Set course. Engage. United Nations of Earth. So the little AI guy is gonna chirp in a lot because the tutorial is on. That's so that we go over every facet of the game for those of us who aren't as familiar with it, so that we'll all be we'll at least have a step up when we get to the viewers elect. Although if you're watching this in the far future, I don't know, that's cool. Alright, United Nations of Earth. Government Representative Democracy. Yes, we've seen all this. So Dolores Mwanga is our leader. Species human, capital Earth. Our ethics, egalitarian, xenophile, civics, yep, we've gone through that stuff. Alright. Much has happened since modern humans first emerged in Africa some 200,000 years ago. Our kind spread rapidly across most of the globe, and soon the first civilizations took form. Scientific progress has been swift, though not without cost. Wars claimed millions of lives even before the atom was tamed, and the turmoil of the 21st century saw the mandate of the United Nations gradually expanded in an effort to create stability. By the early 22nd century, the supranational organization had become a de facto world government. Though some still resent the power wielded by the UN, as evidenced during the Mauritian police action of '88, few can deny the technological breakthroughs that have come out of its sponsored research programs. With the recent completion of the first true starships, mankind is about to embark on a new era of space exploration.
Day, Madam President. I am Veer, a prototype synthetic intelligence.
Day.
My job is to offer advice and assistance as we seek our destiny among the stars.
Alright, we will do the full tutorial.
An excellent decision. You will have my full support.
Good to know.
Building a star empire can be a daunting task. To help get things started, I will be providing instructional missions that cover the basic steps necessary to establish ourselves as a successful interstellar power.
Alright, the first mission is to fully survey a neighboring star system. I have added it as an entry in the situation log. To access it, click on the situation log button in the left section of the top bar or press F2. Alright, let's go to the situation log.
The situation log displays a list of all currently available special projects, archaeology sites, and various other points of interest. New items will likely appear as we begin exploring the galaxy.
Excellent. Don't show me this again. Good. Alright, so this is the situation log. We have 2 situations. One is the tutorial, which we want to survey a system. We need to explore our neighboring star systems. To do this, select our science ship either by clicking on the ship itself or by selecting the vessel in the outliner. Then click on the survey button in the fleet interface, open the galaxy map, and select a non-surveyed system with a hyperlane connection to our home system. Our science ship will now plot a course to survey all planetary bodies within this system. Then we have President Dolores Mwanga was elected on a platform of constructing at least 2 additional mining districts. Alright, reward at the end will be 6 months worth of Unity. Cool. Alright, let's check on the science.
This is our science ship, which is used to survey astronomical objects such as planets in a star system. A planet needs to be surveyed in order to make its resources visible.
Excellent. Our home system has already been surveyed, so we should focus our efforts elsewhere. With the science ship selected, open the galaxy map, right-click on the neighboring star system, and select Survey System. So the UNS Discovery under the command of Antonio Rossi. Let's go to the galaxy map. Here we are. Alright, so we can see that we have the Temestra Badlands, Nebula block outside sensors from being able to see their systems. Ooh, that's why there's that sort of dark patch in there, I suppose. Then we have the Irium Nebula. So this is our little galaxy. It is little, but that's because we don't want it to be the longest playthrough in the world. Oh, right. We have a job to do. UNS Discovery. I want you to survey this system. And I think we'll have them jump over and survey this system, and then jump over and survey this system. So we'll get all the systems that border us and start surveying them. Alright, let's unpause the game. We'll go at the slowest speed, though, so that time is still moving, but just slowly. Ooh. Although, before we do that, we should probably get research going. Right.
The technology screen is where we will be directing our research efforts. Technologies are categorized into 3 different fields, with each field typically having 3 available research options.
We can research technologies without assigning a scientist to the relevant field, but this may take significantly longer, and is generally not recommended. Alright, we have physics, society, and engineering. I think in engineering we'll just do nanomechanics. This will allow researchers to produce 20% more engineering. We're engineering to become better engineers. But in terms of society, I'm thinking also the same thing. We could have society researching to understand society more quickly. And quantum theory, I'm also thinking, physics research from researchers plus 20%. So those will all be ready in a few years. Good. Excellent. Habla Chukawar Mirshi is an expertise in particles. Excellent. Dominic is an expertise in new worlds. And you're just a maniacal. Alright, well, look at our leader screen, maybe. There we go.
The Leaders tab lets us hire, dismiss, and assign idle governors, scientists, admirals, and generals.
Excellent. So, Romer. Oh, good. Okay. So, the UNS Discovery is captained by the right person for the job. Survey speed plus 25%. This leader was born to roam the stars. Meanwhile, Carl York, Governor of Earth. Looks like will be a good person when we get there for clearing out blockers. There are always a few on Earth, I think, at the start. But I don't want to click on it yet because I want to sort of flow from area to area in the game so it's not too overwhelming. Although, planet-side mining is the goal of the president. So yeah, let's go click on Earth.
This is our homeworld and the capital of our empire. The planet's summary screen, which we are currently looking at, provides an overview of the planet's important statistics. and allows us to set a designation if desired, as well as the option to automate the planet.
We can see the total number of districts this planet can support, how many pops are living on it, and how much food and other resources it produces and consumes. We can also see if the planet is suffering from low stability, and there is an assigned governor. They are found here. If there is, okay. We may also set a designation if desired, and have the option to automate the planet. So automation is off, but cannot set colony designation on the capital world. So we won't have to worry about that until we get deeper into the game. Alright, so here we have, aha, good, yeah, we have some block. We have these sprawling slums that cover up nothing. Then we have the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is covering up the Pacific Algae Tracts. The Industrial Wasteland, covering up the Delhi Sprawl. Then we have some pluses, though. We have the Scandinavian Reclamation Sector, the Saharan Irrigation Project, the Mesopotamian Urban Corridor, Bosch Metropolitan... Boston to Washington. The Bosch riots traumatized an entire generation. Led to sweeping legal reforms. Never forget. I should have tried to do it in like a Boston accent. Pearl River Agglomerate. Mauritian Security Zone. They all have like special little descriptions. The Great Albertan Crater. So it's all good. Alright. Let's see what our resources are at the moment. Nothing too crazy. Alright.
To overcome the vast distances that separate star systems, our scientists have developed the hyperdrive. This device permits travel at speeds far exceeding that of light between systems connected by hyperlanes.
Travel along a hyperlane is extremely fast, but interstellar movement is restricted along the paths of the galactic hyperlane network. Safely entering hyperspace is only possible at the edge of a system, beyond the destabilizing effects of the star's gravity well. Well. Alright, so here's Alpha Centauri. It is a trinary system, filled to the brim with very interesting elements. The Discovery has just entered orbit, or not orbit, I don't know, the gravity well of this star system, moving towards Proxima Centauri. So we have Alpha Centauri and Alpha Centauri B, Alpha Centauri A and B. Excellent. I'll begin the research and then we'll take a deeper look at that star system.
The government screen presents us with information regarding our empire and its government. Here we can see our ruler and any related effects.
Alright, excellent. A separate tab gives information on the demographics of our empire. Well, so the ruler trait, she's industrious, so we get monthly minerals plus 10%. This leader has a firm grip on the means of production. And then we have warlike. Ship weapon damage plus 5%, army damage plus 10. This leader does not shy away from conflict. She's a level 2, which I think just makes her better at things. Yeah, edict duration plus 10%, monthly unity plus 6. Alright. Next elections will be in 10 years. And tentatively, no, because, well, could be fun to allow you all to somehow vote on this. It would delay the playthrough, so I think we won't be able to do that. But in future, we're starting to get around to the idea of maybe having like several ongoing playthroughs, all of which have various levels of viewer interactivity. But that will be in the future when we have, I guess, more playthroughs going on. Juggling. Alright, so then we can... This is the election overview. These are all the people that would be running. And in our Viewers Elect playthrough over on Twitch, you will be able to vote for these people and influence the outcome of the election. like, depending on what you want to see done. Ooh, look at that. President... Wait, what? Oh, it's gonna say Dolores no matter what. Alright. But, so President Abla wants to run on a platform of bringing our monthly energy credit surplus up to at least 20 a month. Aha. A mandate is an issue the candidate feels strongly about and promises to address if elected ruler. The issue remains when the term ends, voters will likely support another candidate in the next election. Cool. Alright, let's go back to Earth, or just Sol. Let's look at the...
This is our construction ship, which is used to construct space stations. When an astronomical object, such as a planet, has been surveyed, we can order this ship to build a research station or a mining station to exploit any resources it may have.
These ships are also used to build star bases in unclaimed systems, making them critical to our expansion plans. Alright, looks like over in Alpha Centauri, we have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Proxima Centauri 1. Incredibly, this civilization, which apparently referred to itself as the Cybrex, also that just sounds like some sort of product. With Cybrex, your children will never be cleaner. Seems to have been made up of the machines that were linked together in some sort of collective consciousness. The age of the artifacts indicate they were active some 600,000 years ago. In this portion of the galaxy, at least. But we have learned nothing of their exact origins. According to partial data fragments that our scientists managed to extract from one of the artifacts, Cybrex at some point launched a crusade to destroy all sapient organic life in the galaxy for reasons unknown. Very interesting. Minor artifacts found. Begins the precursor of the Cybrex event chain.
Situation log has been updated.
Yeah, let's take a look there. Alright, the Cybrex. We have recently uncovered artifacts from the Cybrex. If we can find enough relics of their civilization, it may be possible to pinpoint the location of
Could
their...
I have a moment of your time?
Home world. Cybrex artifacts recovered 0 of 6. We have discovered some minor artifacts. These are esoteric resources, a catch-all term for strange items, which we do not understand and indeed may be inexplicable. Regardless of what any one item does, this resource can be used to enact a variety of decisions via the Relics and Minor Artifacts screen, a tab in the Traditions and Relics screen. Relics? Alright, let's click on Traditions and Relics.
The Tradition screen displays the tradition trees available to our empire. A tradition tree must first be adopted before any traditions within it can be unlocked.
Adopting a tradition tree or unlocking a specific tradition costs a certain amount of unity, and the price goes up as we unlock traditions and our empire grows. Alright, so we'll get to this again in 15 months when our unity reaches 300, but let's look at the relics.
The Relics screen allows us to view and activate our relics, and also to enact decisions making use of minor artifacts.
Alright. The relic... decisions marked with planetary decision are shown here only for reference, and can instead be enacted from a planet's decision screen. Aha. So we have minor artifacts. We'll get to that though. We have a contact report remnants. Human zoologists are practically falling over themselves to publish their takes on the recent findings of alien life. This fevered storm in the scientific community has had some negative yet temporary impact on pursuits in other fields. Remarkable. That was the molten world of Proxima Centauri 1. That is spooky. Alright, we are not alone in this galaxy, or at least the galaxy had some sort of other, if not life, at least something that had been created by life. But let's get back to those traditions and relics. Alright, so we can sell to private collectors, put some of our minor artifacts up for auction to private collectors. So if we need a giant amount of credits. This is a good way to just get some easily. Minor artifacts. Obscure. Yep. Obscure technology and half-forgotten lore covered from archaic civilizations, only partially understood by our own science. They are more common than relics and can be spent to enact various empire-wide effects. Now we could celebrate diversity, display some of the minor artifacts to show the diversity of life in the galaxy. This gives us some unity. Ooh, okay, that's actually going to be really good. And makes people more xenophilic. But we need another one. We need to put 2 of them together. It's the only way to show that there's diversity. Then museum exhibits that can put the minor artifacts on public display to inspire our people with the wonders of the past. That's cool. And then some other options. So it just gives us more options. That's what I like. Excellent. Alright, let's hop back over to the Sol system with our constructor. The UNS Atlantic. I like the name, so I'm going to keep it. It looks like we could build some research stations. Alright, let's build a mining station above Saturn. Then a research station above Triton. And a research station above Uranus. That's you thought I was going to say Uranus. Well, you were right. And then Callisto. So we are going to develop the Sol system to ensure that we have the resources that humanity needs in the future. Today. Well, tomorrow, but a closer tomorrow than it would have been otherwise. So that's good. So our credits are moving up. We make a lot of minerals. We do produce a lot of minerals. So let's look at... Let's see. We're surveying the system. Let's maybe work on planet-side mining just to kind of... Well, we already make so many mines, but that could come in handy with the market. Let's check out the market.
Via the market screen, we can buy and sell resources. At first, this is merely an internal market, but if enough empires establish contact, I expect they might form some sort of galactic market.
Resources can be bought and sold using the appropriate buttons here, but be aware that buying or selling a resource will raise or lower the price of that resource, respectively. Monthly automatic trade deals can also be set up in the section to the right. So that's good. So if we have a lot of minerals and we want to sell some of them, we can automatically sell them for, say, energy credits or food, if we feel like we need those. We are limited in how many of each resource we can store, but the bar is pretty high and it can be expanded with buildings as well. So it's just an internal market. Later we'll have a slave market, potentially. Alright, so we won't do any monthly trades yet, because we don't... so yeah, we got the starting prices. It's like everything, not everything. Alright, so you want to make, if you, yeah, it's like making consumer goods is better than just selling raw minerals, potentially. Making alloys is the best, which we currently are made from foundries and stuff on Earth. So let's go to Earth. I think it would be good if we cleared these out while this guy is, ooh. Resources from jobs +2. Crime minus a lot. Good.
One of our science ships has just surveyed a world that would make an excellent candidate for our first colony. It is of the same planet class as our home world, so our colonists should be quite comfortable there.
Ooh. Before we can colonize this world, however, our borders must be extended to cover the system it is in. This is accomplished by using a construction ship to build a starbase there. As our science ship scans the surface of Alpha Centauri 3, it becomes quite clear that we have found something out of the ordinary. The planet is host to massive life forms that might be dangerous to interact with. We will surely come across even more irregularities like this as we survey new planets, and should not underestimate their impact on our expansion. A planet modifier appears on Alpha Centauri 3. Titanic life. Society research from jobs. The life forms on this planet are built on a massive scale and can be incredibly dangerous even without meaning any harm. That is terrifying. Truly terrifying. It's a smaller planet than Earth, but it does look like it could be home to a lot of cities, maybe some agriculture. It's home to a lot of impassable mountains, dense jungle, toxic kelp, titanic life forms, hot springs, rushing waterfalls, prosperous mesas, rugged woods, black soil. So a lot of actually agricultural potentially. So -1 max difference, but produces 8, or max districts, produces 8 society research. Good. Toxic kelp, which is underneath this toxic kelp are rich mountains for some reason. And underneath the dense jungle are some hot springs. So that's good, that's good. There is a possibility on that world. Excellent. That's the wrong button. There we go. Alright, so once our constructor is complete in our home system, we'll send him abroad. Let's speed things up to speed 1. Meanwhile... So we have the little rundown of the market. So yeah, let's go back to Earth. And we'll focus on industrial, clearing up all the blocks, and then build 2 mining districts. So districts cost minerals to build. And time. Ooh, but they do have upkeep. Energy. Alright. And then clearing blockages costs energy. So let's start using the market. It's probably inefficient, but it could be fun. So we'll set up we will sell minerals. 8 of them. We will sell food, 2 of them. And we'll sell alloys, 1 of them. And then we'll see what that produces. So that will give us more energy to clear these blockages. Let's start with the least helpful place. We'll clear out these sprawling slums. Ooh. But first, the UNS Discovery has discovered a previously unknown strategic resource on Alpha Centauri 1A, dubbed Volatile Motes. These preternatural particles. Oh, not, oh dear. Paranormal, natural, paranatural, preternatural, pressure. Particles contain a tremendous amount of energy, which can be exploited in energy production, as fuel or even as explosives. While we do not yet wow, I can't read. While we do not yet possess the means to extract the resources, we should seriously consider establishing control over the system in the future for future exploitation. Alright. I really muddled through that one, but let's take a look. Ah. Oh, how about, yeah, the moon, the molten moon above the molten world. Within...
Surveyed worlds sometimes possess unique properties that make them valuable objects of research.
Good.
These physics, society, or engineering resources can be collected by a research station.
Excellent.
My programming strongly compels me to compel you to build one.
Keep in mind that research stations can be built within our borders and have an upkeep cost in energy credits. Good. Alright, we will build a research station as part of our tutorial. To improve the rate at which we research new technologies, research stations should be built above any world that possesses physics, society, or engineering resources. Research stations function much in the same way as mining stations. Their sole difference is that the resources they collect, they are not capable of mining minerals or strategic resources. To build one, select your construction chip and click on the Build Research button in the fleet interface. Then click on an available planet, asteroid, or sun that has a deposit of physics, society, or engineering resources. Excellent. They're on the way to Triton right now, the frozen world. Good. Alright, while that's happening, we can take a look at the market, I suppose. So far, no big shifts, even though we're selling and buying.
Anomalous readings registered.
Wheeling and dealing. Uh-oh. An anomaly on Alpha Centauri 1. A routine. Let's research it. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during the survey of this planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message, but it could be a distress transponder. Alright. UNS Discovery. Reroute back to Alpha Centauri 1. Tell us what you find. No, excuse me. This is our science ship, which is used as a survey astronomical objects. Alright, we are approaching the last final 5 minutes or so of the of episode 1. We're just getting into the game. This will be a sort of full tutorial playthrough. And then we'll go on further, I guess, if depending on the views. Obviously, as always, it's driven by views, interactivity, that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, if you are a big fan of our Leo Bay Three Kingdoms Total War playthrough, good news and bad news. Good news is there's still the 8 episodes or so that's on there. Bad news is don't expect any new episodes anytime soon. Our homes. Let's see. Yep. All right. So we know this about science ships, so we don't need to worry too much. Excellent. Trade. Let's see. Monthly trades. So we get 11 for monthly trades. That's nice. Probably. Oh yeah. Let's get back to Earth and start clearing out those. Here we go. So we'll clear out these sprawling slums. This region is covered by vast shanty towns and slums filled with the poor and the outcast. One human pop is created, so we are reaching down and pulling people out of poverty. Good. Now we don't have any extra jobs for them, so we'll have to be careful. Let's take a look at our population now.
Here we see a breakdown of this planet's population, divided into layers, or strata.
Strata. This is strata! They can... excuse me, sorry. They can be expanded to view the job types within each stratum. Jobs use and produce different resources, and the pops working a job need a certain amount of housing and amenities. A lack of either will reduce happiness, which can lower the planet's stability. So this is basically where the game became Victoria 3 in space, which I am a big fan of. Both space, Victoria 3, and things in space. Or Victoria 2, really, but I mean, or Victoria 2.0 in space. Anyway, I like what they've done here. I would love a system like this in Imperator Rome, because the pop system there, it works, but I do, from what I've seen of this pop system, I'm like, oh, I like this. I like this a lot. But it does make sense that theirs is a little bit more like a rigid structure where we're in the future. People can be fluid, I guess. We'll find out again. Well, and anyway, all right. Let's not take a super close look at these at the moment. Let's not look at corporate or armies. So let's. Ooh, we have decisions. Cease robot assembly. Why would we do that? Ceases the assembly of robot droids and synthetic pops on the planet. Lowers the population assembly cost by... I'm very confused. Okay. Discourage planetary growth. Ooh. If resources and living space are at a premium, population planning might be necessary on this world. Measures will then be taken to voluntarily curtail population growth. Versus if we have a lot of food, we can encourage planetary growth, we can send artifacts to the museum exhibits. Ooh. We can distribute luxury goods. Declare martial law. Oh. So that's cool. We have a lot of different decisions we can make. People are growing here. So that's going to be... This is important information for our Viewers Elect playthrough, since we're going to have some resource, not restraints, but just little extra layers of challenge layered into it. Alright, let's go up to speed slow. Sort of speed 2, I guess, in paradox terms. Let's... It looks like we're still...
Our new research station is online, and its science staff have begun their work. What secrets will they uncover? What forbidden mysteries of creation?
Ooh. Good question. That's over on Triton. Alright, looks like... Alright. News of alien ships humming through the ether have reached Earth, in many ways ending the first chapter in the book on the United Nations of Earth's bid for a stellar empire. Very interesting. Wait, what?
These are unknown spacefaring entities. We can learn more about them and maybe even initiate first contact by completing the appropriate special project.
Oh god. Oh, whoa! Aliens! It's aliens! Alright, so that's where we're going to end, on that cliffhanger of aliens showing up, because it's just that time, otherwise... But yeah, you can find more at twitch.tv/SlowSquire. Be sure to like and subscribe. And ring that bell to catch all the Squire Squad action. This is just a tutorial playthrough, but we have other playthroughs that are going to be more interactive and such. And of course on Twitch, that's where our Viewers Elect playthroughs are super interactive, where you take a direct role in how each playthrough unfolds. Oh my gosh. But be sure to tune into episode 2 of this playthrough, because we've just found aliens. Aliens have found us! This is terrifying. Ah, man. Alright, well, I'll see you all on the other side.